You've probably heard the claims that eating only meat can fix your digestion, clear your mind, and even make you healthier than ever. If you scroll through social media, you'll see headlines like these: bold claims, miracle transformations, and promises that eating only meat can fix everything. But here's the question: what does the science actually say about the carnivore diet? Spoiler alert, it's not what the internet tells you. The carnivore diet is essentially an elimination diet. It removes every plant food, fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, nuts, even herbs, and focuses only on animal products: meat, fish, eggs, sometimes dairy. Short term, some people report feeling better. That's not surprising. Cutting ultra-processed foods or refined carbs can improve how anyone feels. But that doesn't mean the diet itself is healthy long term. So what does the evidence say? The truth is, there are no long-term controlled studies proving the carnivore diet is safe or beneficial. What we do have are decades of research showing the opposite pattern: that people who eat more plants and less meat live longer and have lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. For example, a 2023 meta-analysis in BMC Medicine looked at millions of participants. It found that replacing animal-based foods with plant-based ones significantly reduced the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and all-cause mortality. Another large study in the European Heart Journal found that higher red and processed meat consumption was linked to increased risk of heart disease and diabetes. In other words, the very foods that dominate a carnivore diet are the ones most consistently associated with long-term health risks. Let's talk about what happens when you cut out plants entirely. You lose fiber, which supports your gut microbiome and helps regulate cholesterol, blood sugar, and digestion. You lose antioxidants and phytonutrients, which protect your cells from damage. And you remove important vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, potassium, and folate. A recent pilot study even showed that people on a carnivore diet had a drop in gut microbe diversity, a red flag for long-term health. The gut microbiome thrives on plant fiber. Without it, the system starts to shift in ways we still don't fully understand, but likely not for the better. So, why do some people say they feel great on the carnivore diet? Because it's still an elimination diet. By removing highly processed foods, sugar, alcohol, and allergens, short-term inflammation can drop, digestion can calm down, and energy may rise. But feeling better short-term doesn't mean the diet is healthy long-term. It's like turning down the noise without fixing the underlying issue. For those who truly need to identify food intolerances, a temporary elimination plan under medical guidance can help, but that's very different from staying on an all-meat diet for years. Across hundreds of studies, the most consistent findings in nutrition science point in the same direction. People who eat mostly plants, fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds have lower risks of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and early death. Even moderate shifts matter. A 2024 study comparing vegans, flexitarians, and omnivores found that those who simply reduced meat intake had better cholesterol, blood pressure, and inflammatory markers. So even if you don't want to go fully vegan, just eating more plants and fewer animal products makes a measurable difference. The bottom line? The carnivore diet might look simple, but it's a restrictive elimination plan, one that removes the very foods science shows support long-term health. If you care about evidence-based wellness, choose variety, color, and fiber, not restriction. Whole foods, mindful choices, and balance will always do more for your body than extremes ever could. Subscribe to Mindful Sprouts for more bite-sized, evidence-based lessons on nutrition and mindful living.